Now, I'm trying to be logical and positive and practical about things. I don't want to jump off the handle and be irrational. But you're making it hard on me, Mendy. Come on. You lost 7 of 8. I want to talk to you under better circumstances.
What's up, Sal?
How are you, my friend? What's going on?
Here we are, man, grinding, like you say, hasn't been easy. It's not fun at all, but, we got to keep going. We got to keep finding ways to, turn things around here, and we will. We will. Got a lot of good players. Got to get them going.
How have you handled adversity? You've been dealt it really right from the get-go last year, 0-5. Hey, welcome to managing, right? Managing in New York, big leagues, pressure, all this stuff, 0-5 right out of the gate, not to mention the other issues. You've had other spurts even this year. How have you been able to handle adversity and keep the club in line to where you always respond after these ruts?
Yeah, look, you just consistency, with the personality, with the coaches, and then the relationship with the players. You keep communicating, keep having conversations with them, keep connecting, getting feedback from players, from coaches, and also understanding that you're going to go through stretches where it's not easy. We haven't been playing well for quite a bit now. We know that, and we're doing everything that we can possibly could be doing right now, looking at everything individually, collectively, to get things going here.
What do you think's the biggest issue with your club right now?
We've just been inconsistent. We haven't been able to put everything together, whether it's starting pitcher, whether it's offense, defensively, we haven't been able to complete plays in key moments. So we just been inconsistent overall. It seems like there's days where, we get the big hit with runners in scoring position, which has been a topic. It's been a struggle, pretty much for the most part of the year. Then when we do get the hits, we don't get a quality start, or we make a defensive play. We don't make a defensive play. So we just haven't been able to put a complete game on a consistent basis, and we got to start doing that.
I know you guys were built to be a balanced team, but really the offense, you were built to score a ton of runs. That hasn't happened. Why the inconsistency with the offense this year?
Yeah, that's a tricky one there, because when you look at our lineup and when you're looking at our position player groups, it's like, man, that's the quality. And you look at, we can sit here and say, look at the back of the baseball card, look at all the numbers, what they do. But the reality is we haven't been able to put a consistent streak where, hey, everyone is clicking. We could, I feel like there was times where we're talking about the bottom of the lineup. Now we're talking about the top of the lineup. It's just weird, especially when we're talking about guys like Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nemo, who's, they're great players. They're great hitters. And usually, a guy or two will struggle, and then the other two will pick the other two up. They went through a stretch where all 4 of them were struggling, and, it's hard. So I like where Lindor is at for the past 3 or 4 games. Pete is showing, some signs to getting back to his, the way he started it. I like where Soto, the past couple of games, there's some adjustments there with his swings, his setup. So he's taking better swings there. And Nemo's had a couple of tough games this series against the Guardian. But look, man, 1 through 9 or whoever's in the lineup, we got to be better. And we understand that. And like I say, we're doing everything in our power to get these guys going.
Is there something, do you think it's a mental thing when you talk about the runners in scoring position, especially with Soto, and we're all just expecting it to click at some point, but is there something that you or Chavez do to try to get them out of the funk or get their mind right? Or you just sit back and say, hey, they know what they're doing, especially with those big 4, and leave them alone?
No, we're not. We don't ever just sit back and say, hoping that they're too. No, we're having conversations. We're watching film, whether it's approach, how pitchers are attacking us, or Soto in this case that we're talking about. We continue to be deep there. He's like, what are we doing? But I know it's about results. But look, man, like. Last night's the perfect example. We got bases loaded, 1 out, Lindor at the plate. He hits a bullet up the middle. It's 105. And I know that we want results, but what are you supposed to tell the batter? Hey, go get a bloop single. It's like you get a good pitch, you get a good pitch and you hit it hard. after that, it's out of your hand. And that, we saw it last night. Lindor 3 at bat, and I'm not making excuses because, we all want it. We want the results. The players want the results. They, at times they get tired of coming back to the dugout and 8 people are telling them, great swing, stay right there. It's like, man, I want a broken bat single, But how do you do that? You control, getting a good pitch, putting a good swing, hitting the ball hard. So, it's frustrating at times because, baseball is a crazy sport. But look, man, staying positive, continue to push these guys. And again, we got a lot of good hitters, and this will turn.
We're talking with Carlos Mendoza right now ahead of his game today. Mets, Guardians. Mets looking to salvage the final game of that 3-game series. What's the holdup here with McLean and Sproat? I mean, you guys need some length out of your starters. Can we anticipate those guys coming up soon? Where are we at with that?
Yeah. Look, man, they continue with their development. They're throwing the ball well in AAA. They continue to make improvement in some of the areas that we continue to ask them. And they're putting themselves in a position where, hey, man, we're here. We're watching. But we also got, some arms here that we're counting on them. We build this rotation and guys are healthy now and we need these guys. So it's always good to have those guys there waiting. But at the same time, we're counting on the guys that we got on our current roster.
Well, then how are you going to get length? Because I know Holmes, and I didn't disagree with the decision the other day, taking him out after 5 innings. Maybe that's what he is at this point. Is Senga more than a 5-inning pitcher? Is Minaya at this point? You're up against it here with these guys who you need some length from, Mendy. How are you going to change that?
Yeah, look, man, I mean, every day, every game is different. There's going to be days kind of like last night where I'm going to be more aggressive, especially with the way our bullpen is set up now. Off days around, the schedule, but then we're gonna be facing a stretch here where we're playing 6 teams in a row, and we're gonna need the length from them at times, But the situations, like I said, every game, every day will be different. I thought like last night, we were set up perfectly back there, play, going 5 innings, 75. It was good. But when first time through the order, he was pretty dominant yesterday. The second time, they made some adjustment, and I just didn't want to take any chances with them facing Clay on a third time through. We had Soto, we had Rogers, we had those guys, and I was aggressive. With Sean was really good the other day for 5 innings. Where it's 58 pitches, dominating, and then in that 1 inning got away from him. I feel like Kodai is working through some mechanics issues that he's fixing, and man, he's one of our top guys. So we're gonna continue to count on him, and he'll step up. But again, overall, I feel good with the guys that we got here, and I'm pretty confident that they'll take the next step here in the final 2 months and hopefully deep into October.
You guys mentioned that Saturday Montas is going to take he's going to pitch on his normal day, but he might be behind an opener. How would that help Frankie Montas if you have him behind an opener? Where's your confidence at with him right now? Yeah,
look, man, we just trying to get creative here with him. Usually the strategy of an opener is that way the starter doesn't have to face him potentially 3 times through. So we got an off day before that series and an off day after that series that is going to allow us to be a little bit more aggressive with the bullpen. So, whether it's 1 time through the order, you let him face the lineup, and depending how he's doing, you want to be more aggressive or not. That's kind of like where we at, but there's also a chance that he starts the game. We got it, we got Kodai starting on Friday, and depending on where we are bullpen-wise going into Saturday's game, we have that decision.
At what point, Mendy, do you value defense over offense? It feels like right now, whether it's Beatty, whether it's Vientos at third, that's what drove me nuts the other night. Mauricio, to me, is the best defensive third baseman you have. I like the flexibility of having Acuna on the roster. Obviously, he's sent down. Is there a point that you're going to say, you know what, we need to value defense more so than the potential offense in Beatty or Vientos?
Yeah, we value the defense. I mean, that's a huge part of our game and our team. We got to be able to play good defense behind our pitching staff. I feel like Beatty's been really good defensively. Mauricio, like you said, man, he's been unbelievable. And I'm trying to mix and match here as much as possible. Trying to put defenders, trying to create some offense. Acuna obviously wasn't getting playing time here, and we needed him to get playing time. That's why we sent him down. But yeah, it's kind of like a puzzle here that I'm working day in and day out, not only offensively looking what's the best matchup, but putting guys in a position to have success.
How did you set a culture of accountability when you first came over? It's my favorite thing about you. You laid the groundwork right out of the gate. How were you able to do that?
Yeah, look, man, you set out expectations and standards, you start, with the connection and the relationship and just letting the players know what we're here for. You earn the trust from the players, and then when it's time to have those tough conversations, you have them, and they know it's coming from a good place, but also holding each other to high standards, and expectations. And that's what, since day one, with David, Stearns, myself, Steve, coaches, and then just the players, especially, from the leadership position, it's like, hey, man, like, there's a way to do things here. There are expectations, there are high standards, and we're going to hold each other accountable to it.
You have different expectations this year? You guys is the team feeling any different pressure with the raised expectations versus last year?
I mean, there's always high expectation. It's New York, Sal. You know how it is. Last year, I know outside of this building, people didn't think much of our team, but we knew we had a good team. And this year it's not different. We added Soto, we added a lot of different pieces, and our goal is to win a championship. So there's always expectation. There's high expectations here, and we have to embrace those.
Yeah, I mean, look, and if you don't, you know what's coming your way, Mendy. You're right, it's New York. You're going to get ripped. We got to win this division here. Come on, my friend, we got to get this going.
It's part of it, Sal. I mean, we understand, and that's what, me personally, I love this challenge, especially here in New York. I know we have a passionate fan base. They want results. They care, and they're going to let us know. And, we got to be better. We got to go out there. We understand that we have a responsibility, and we're doing everything in our power to, get through this stretch. And like I said, man, I embrace this. It's not fun when you're going through it. It's not easy. But, hey, man, I believe in the guys that we have in this room, players, coaches. We have too much talent here, and I'm pretty confident that things will start turning around here pretty shortly.
Is this one of those where we'll just be happy to get in the postseason, or you want that division?
No, I mean, we're going for the division, Saul. I mean, that's, we're trying to be the best team in the National League. I know we got work to do, we got to go out there, do it. But yeah, the division, man, that's the goal.
And you mentioned the fans, too, and we'll leave you with this. We do appreciate your time. I know it's game day. You got to get going. We got to get a win here, break this losing streak. But the fans, New York could be tough. It also could be rewarding. You've seen the fans come out in droves. You've got to have had a nice home field advantage. How great has that been to get the support of the fan base this year out at Citi Field?
Yeah, it's great. It's a really good feeling, and even when we're not playing well, we continue to see the support from the fan base. Past couple of nights, Monday night, Tuesday night, it's packed house, and it's a good feeling, and that's what I'm going to go back and say, that we have a responsibility here. We got to go out there, and we got to. We got to put a show, we got to go out there, we got to compete. And I know, like I said, the players are doing everything that in their power. They're working really hard, and, it'll turn around. But it's definitely a good feeling coming home, playing here in Citi Field. And the expectations is that they continue to support us the last 2 months of the regular season and deep into October.
Hey, King Cohen did his job. You got the horses. You got to go get the job done now. You and these players here. Let's finish the job here, Mendy.
That's right. He's on me. I'm the manager. He's on the coaching staff to continue to challenge these guys, push these guys, continue to teach, and get the best out of them. We got to keep it fun while it's hard. But look, I like the way the guys are preparing. We just got to continue to make adjustments and get the results we want.
Yeah, and I believe they will be there as well, all kidding aside. And, Carlos, thank you so much for the time. We know you're busy. I appreciate it. We'll see you soon. Good luck today and the rest of the way. We appreciate it.
All right.
There you go. There's Mendy right there. I mean, I feel like we hit him with enough of the stuff that's relevant right now. he's not going to reveal all the moves that he's going to make, but they're going to try to figure something out different here with Frankie Montas on Saturday. If he doesn't get the job done, you could read between the lines. They're going to call one of the younger guys up. That's the plan that's in place. They got to start hitting.